Hello, everyone. This episode is going to be a little different. I'm actually the one being interviewed by Chelyn Briand from my Coachmasters group, which is a really fun organization to practice public speaking and leadership skills. And I think this will be an interesting episode, a little different than what we've done in the past, but I hope you guys enjoy.
Thank you for checking out the Media Marketing Podcast, a place where you can learn all things media and marketing related. Don't miss a beat in boosting your business and your brand. In each episode, you'll gain valuable insights, tools, and strategies to apply to your marketing efforts. And now your host, Brian Cargill.
Hi, this is Chelyn Briand with Coachmasters. And I have the pleasure of spending some time with Brian Cargill today of Tactus Media. And Brian is part of our Coachmasters group. And really excited to get to know you a little better and for our community to learn more.
Yeah, Sean, it's a pleasure. I really appreciate you having me onto, is this a show or is this just an interview series? How are we calling this?
Yes, interview series and really getting a chance to share some of our members with folks that are visiting our social media areas and for our members to get to know each other a little better. We have a great time during our Coachmasters meetings, but we don't have as much time to get to know each other well. So this is a fun opportunity to learn more.
Yeah, and I think the key word there is fun. And we had an awesome meeting earlier today at noon every Monday, and we've been doing the Zoom thing for the last couple months here, and been able to transfer that fun that we have in person to the online space. It's been really great. So yeah, thanks for having me, and excited to delve into whatever. Ask me anything, Chelyn.
Awesome. Well, I have to say you have risen up in everyone's interest in your expertise because of being on Zoom and everyone really having to get more comfortable with video and using it personally and professionally. And you have some great tips to share with us today. And I know it will help everyone quite a bit.
Definitely. Yeah, I actually have heard so much out there. People have been asking me, hey, what camera should I use? What are some different tips for setting things up? And so before I went on my trip to Montana, I just recently came back from vacation. I put together a webinar diving into just general practices around the camera, presence on camera, what type of equipment you can use. So anyone that's listening, feel free to visit my website, tactusmedia.com, and there'll be a tab for the Media Mentor Hub. And then in that hub, I break down all the things that you need to know to really beef up or level up your Zoom skills is one of the webinars I did. And then in there, you also find resources to different music that you can use, different just general tips around how to be more proficient around the camera.
Perfect. And I know many of us, this is sort of new. And I think one of the blessings of this time is that much of this is going to continue into the future, which will allow us to have more connectivity, more flexibility, and opportunities outside of our local areas, and a nice blend as we move into the future. And that video, I really encourage people to go check it out because I learned a lot. And there are just some small adjustments that you can make that make a huge difference.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think you bring up some good points. Like one, the convenience of everything that's going on, being able to work from home. You know, I'm doing this interview with my shoes off. That's always nice. You don't get to do too many meetings barefoot. And so I think those are just really nice. I guess really quickly out of the gates, just giving people some value add. For this interview in particular, I'm not looking at you or myself. I'm actually looking into my camera lens. Now, if you don't have a camera that you have things set up connected to, the little dot on your computer, looking into that little dot will help create that eye contact and allow you to connect with your audience that much more effectively because you feel like you're actually looking directly at them. So that's one tip. The second one, how about we'll go into lighting. So you mentioned before we even jumped into this meeting was you shifted everything around because the lighting created an effect on your face where part of it was blown out and you didn't want, obviously we don't want to look like a ghost on camera. So adjusting your camera or using, what I like to do is set up in front of a window and have the blinds going, and the blinds will actually create kind of a filter and you'll have a nice even like display of light on your face. So if you don't have a lighting kit, a window is a really great option. And or if you do have some little lights around your house, maybe you have a lamp, those can all be things that you can use to adjust and make yourself look really good on camera. Now, to take that up one more level with the lighting kit, if you can get the lights a couple feet above you pointing down, that will create the gosh, tripping on my words, 5 o'clock here. That will create the desired look. Whereas a lot of people, if they don't know that, they'll have the light below and it creates these shadows on your face that kind of look like you're telling a ghost story or something. And I don't think a lot of us want to either look like a ghost or look like we're telling a ghost story.
Exactly. I appreciate the videos that happen where they're showing the setup, and you really can create a great environment and experience without going crazy with expense or having just an incredible space overall, but you really can think about what's going to be easy and have it set up. And one of the things I really appreciated was this suggestion, and you had mentioned this, is make sure that your laptop or the camera is up at your, just above your eye level. So I notice it so much more. And I just used photo boxes from that suggestion and just thought, I went and looked at all these raising tables and all of that and thought, nope, these photo boxes work great. But I do notice that when I'm doing Zooms, you absolutely can tell the people that are looking down at their laptop, and it just doesn't create the same effect.
Totally. Yeah, I think effect is a big part of it. And there's actually a psychology behind it too, where the camera is pointing at. Ideally, mine's sitting a little bit higher than I'd like, but also based on your background, you kind of have to adjust accordingly. But the lower the camera angle is looking up at you, it actually kind of makes you look bigger, like kind of an authoritative figure. So if you're giving a presentation, you want to have the camera slightly pointing up at you, but not enough that you're looking up someone's nostrils. No one wants to be looking at that. And then if you have the camera too high looking down, it almost makes that person look vulnerable or just not as authoritative looking. So yeah, having that at a nice eye level or at the chin level is the key to really make yourself, I don't know, look a little bit more professional. And yeah, obviously, you don't want to look up people's noses.
And I think that getting used to kind of seeing yourself on camera is a new experience for many of us. So.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, already it's tough enough having, if you're a presenter, if you're a public speaker, speaking in front of an audience of 200, 300 people, that's kind of an overwhelming thing. Now you add an element of a camera. So now you're not even talking to a person, you're talking to an object. And that takes a little bit of repetition, a little bit of practice before you finally feel comfortable, making eye contact with the lens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that kind of gets back to Coachmasters and the Toastmasters program of having the opportunity to practice that before it's really a key opportunity, and to get some really constructive feedback, both, really helpful and reinforcing and positive, and those things that are going to make you even more effective. So as you considered, obviously you have a lot of places you could spend your time and it's valuable, as you considered whether or not to join Coachmasters, what is it that really attracted you to this particular Toastmasters group and the Toastmasters opportunity in general? What attracted you, and what are you hoping to get out of the experience?
Well, I think the very first thing that attracted me is, first, a name is very important. So already in the name, you know what you're getting yourself into. Coachmasters. So now you're not only having people that are really proficient speakers, but now you're having coaches that are masters of their craft, that are really good at what they do. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to align myself with the people that are helping others, that are providing guidance, coaching, mentorship to others as they're going through. I find a lot of the work that I do with video production, I'm coaching people on camera. Often I'm not working with actors and actresses and people that do this for a living. I'm working with people that are very new to being in front of a camera. It might be an overwhelming, might be a scary opportunity. And so I'm able to learn through this coaching practice or being around other coaches, what's a good approach for helping someone feel comfortable on camera? What are the right things? What's the right things to say? Positive reinforcement. These are all some of the things that we learn in Coachmasters within that supportive environment. So there's that famous saying that iron sharpens iron. So being surrounded with other people that are very proficient in their craft and their skill, it's nice to surround myself with people like that. And everyone at the Coachmasters group is just so welcoming and friendly. You know, you can go up there and if you're maybe you have an off day, or maybe you're still just working on things, and you go up there and you might not, maybe you think in your own mind that you bombed or you didn't do very well, but you're going to find that people are supportive and they're going to give you some guidance and feedback on, hey, you know, they'll find the good things that you actually did do in your speech, and then they'll give you like kind of the feedback from how to get from point A where you're at now to where you want to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you had a recent experience. I think this is a great way for you to kind of share your business as well. Two of our Coachmaster fellow members are Marianne and Brian Remsburg, who have a coaching business, recently wrote a book and are launching it and created a new website, which is not unlike many entrepreneurs and people that are out there. And they worked with you on their video. Can you kind of break that down a little bit about how you worked with them and how you approached this project so that they got something that really they could put forward into the world and capture the essence of who they are and the message they want to portray?
Definitely. And yeah, first quick shout out to Brian and Marianne Remsburg. Please check out their website, venturouslife.net, and you can get a reservation of their book, which is should be releasing this fall. And they've been working really hard on it. I think it's going to be, I'm excited for when it comes out. And yeah, it was a great process working with them. They are, one, it made my life a little easier because they are public speakers and they are authors, and they have all, tons of content, tons of great things to provide. And so what we did is we sat down and did a couple of interviews with both of them one-on-one out in nature, because that's, aligns with their brand. So we made sure that, everything was in alignment with their overall brand and their vision. And that video, you can go check it out on, I believe it's on their website. It was in their email newsletter, but that does a good job of showcasing really who they are, what they do, why they do it differently. And I think it really did a good job of bringing across their passion for helping others and helping people grow. And yeah, I think what's unique about my style is, one, we had to sit down, we talked about kind of their brand, what their vision was for this project, but then I allow for kind of the authenticity, the organic, just who they are to shine through. So with our interview, it was open-ended. So we had a very, many questions asked. And so you don't even get to see in the final video, I'm taking, I don't know, over an hour worth of footage, and we're distilling that down to the best minute and a half. And yeah, that's part of that process, is like allowing, who they are to truly shine through the video. And so they did excellent interviews. They knocked it out of the park with their interviews. And then we did a series of B-roll shots, shots that showcase them in, what that actual process looks like of working with them. And so that's what I really enjoy. My background is journalism from the University of Oregon. And then I worked in the financial industry for a handful of years doing marketing and video production. And I really found that authentic storytelling, journalistic, where you're asking questions. I mean, it's not journalistic loosely. It's more just like kind of the questions and really being interested and being able to, pull the best responses out of people that, maybe they don't even think about it in that light, but you're asking questions and continuing to ask follow-up questions. And yeah, they're able to, bring the best story to light. And that's really what sticks in people's minds, is a story that's memorable, that's authentic, that you can see the passion coming through. And then I do some of the, they're not magic, but they're kind of the fun things in the background, where you add the right music and you add the right graphics and you do the right transitions and you do all those things to create kind of a look and a feel. And you want it to feel, smooth, and that you're not even really watching a video, that you're just engrossed in the story and what's going to happen next in the video.
Well, I think that's really the difference, is between somebody that's taking a shot and being candid and trying to create an image, and working with someone who's truly a professional that knows what's going to not necessarily create something that isn't the person, right? Like, it's creating the essence, but it's taking away the noise and making sure that the sound, the look, the graphic, the length of time is just perfect, so that it's just that essence, and that anyone visiting a website or any medium is able to get a sense of who is this person, am I attracted to them? And that I think none of us really that don't do what you do know how much work goes into it and how involved it is to be able to create that final project. So
Oh
thank you
yeah.
for kind of breaking down the process for us. I think that's terrific. So if anybody is listening, any of our members or any of the community that's visiting has interest in learning more about what you do or exploring a project, what does that look like? How do they get in touch with you, and what sort of work do you do with the typical person?
Yeah. Well, just taking a couple steps back, for a second, and just, unpacking some of the other things you said, I hear a lot from people. They maybe watch a 2-minute video and I ask them, how much time do you think that took? And they're like, I don't know, maybe like, 5 hours. And I'm like, no, realistically, it's about 10 hours of work per minute. So that was about 20 hours of work to create that 2-minute video. And then the other aspect that you mentioned was, yeah, it's hard to do this all on your own. And so what I like to be able to provide for people is you get to be the talent, you get to be the expert, you get to just focus on speaking and delivering the lines as best you can. When you try to do a lot of these things yourself, do the video production and be the talent on camera, you're usually going to get like kind of a mediocre mix of both. And so I like to, allow people to focus on what they do best, speaking, and then I can focus on the cameras, make sure the audio sounds good, and kind of just do a lot of the extra heavy lifting that I think there's a big learning curve to trying to do it on your own. Now, yeah, so those were kind of the first two things that came to mind. And then answering your third question, which is what does that process look like? For me, it's an initial conversation. So whether that's meeting in person, which is kind of out of the question now, but a Zoom call is always nice. That way you get to really see the person, they get to see me, and that's a way to get to understand what the person's goals are, what their reservations are might be around video. If they already have a video in mind, their idea, and then I'm able to actually, depends on what the needs are of the client, but I can do an audit of where they are at now on social media. I can take a look at their website and say, oh, okay, I think like a video could work here. And, it's not all the same for each person. I don't make the same recommendation, but, for one group, it might make sense to have a testimonial video, or maybe you have a common question that people always ask when it comes to your company. Maybe they're like, well, what does your company name mean? And why did you come up with that name? You can actually answer that question in a video, and then you don't have to explain that every single time when you talk to somebody, because we're living in this day and age now where we have the educated buyer, where people they're not only going to just like learn about your company or like they'll take your business card and call you. They want to go to your website. They want to check out your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your Facebook. If you're not on those, you're a little bit behind the curve, but just creating those platforms, and video is it is kind of the way of the future. I don't have the stats offhand here, but a lot of the trends by 2025, it's something upwards of like 80% of that's how people want to get their content. I know for me in particular, if you have an issue with your car, would you rather read text and see photos, or would you rather watch a video of someone fixing their car, doing the same maintenance on their car that you're looking to have done? It's just a short side story. My fiance, she is super determined. She wound up learning, I think the guy's name was Bill. She learned from Bill how to fix our washing machine this last fall. So
I love it.
video is a great immersive way to keep people engaged. And if you hire a professional like me, you're able to create that other emotional element, which really gets people attached to your product or your brand. And so I think it's a powerful medium. And if you want to learn more and you'd like to work with me, you can visit my website, tactusmedia.com. There's a contact us form that usually helps me get a better idea of what your goals are. But if you don't want to fill out the form and you just want to reach out to me directly, you can send me an email at brian@tactusmedia.com, or any other social platform. Reach out to me on the direct message. That's my shameless plug. Did that answer the question, Chelyn?
You did. Now I have to ask, because you did a softball earlier. Where did the name of your company come from?
Yeah. So I don't know how many of the listeners out there have had to come up with a name for your company. It is very challenging. It is very hard because you might think that you have a good idea for a name, and then you do a little bit more research and you're like, oh, okay, everyone else had that other good idea for a name. So for me, I knew that I wanted a name that had something to do with kind of strategy and video production, and that was also catchy and had like a unique feel to it. So it was, Tactics is kind of what the base root of it is, which is, kind of what when I come in and help a business, I'm helping them with their video tactics, their strategy, if you will. And then, what's something similar to tactics? Well, Tactus, which is like, provide the tactics for us, and then a cactus. So I guess I have my card here, but this is the logo, is a little cactus on there. And if you ever get the chance to work with me, I usually give out a little succulent to my clients. So yeah, something that would stick in people's minds. That was the first slogan. We might change it, but it was media tactics that stick. Kind of like the prickles on a cactus. So I was trying to get everything kind of in alignment. And then also, that was kind of where the name came about, and it's been sticking around so far. We've been in business for a little over a year, but I've been making videos for over, the better part of 10 years, ever since I, was in high school. And I always have some kind of passion project that I'm working on to keep me busy.
I love it. Perfect. Well, thank you. That was a great story.
A little long-winded.
I know. I've meant to ask you that for a while. I just love the name. I think it's so great, but I was curious where it came from. So now, when you're not doing videos, what do you like to do for fun? What are some adventures you like, or any personal things you might want to share?
Yeah, so I'm a little bit in a weird funk right now because my go-to sport is to play soccer. And right now with COVID, the indoor soccer center I was supposed to play at was supposed to open in July. And so then they've pushed that back. And so right now I've transitioned and I've been doing more of the COVID approved sports, which are tennis and golf. I'm terrible at golf. I like to think I'm okay at tennis, but I'm still working on that too. But those are kind of the two things that I'm working on. What else am I doing? I spend a lot of time with my fiance. We're looking to get married in next summer. So we spend a lot of time together, watch a lot of movies, and just always trying to stay busy doing something. This month has been a lot of travel. So like I mentioned earlier, we spent some time over in Montana, and yeah, it's exciting just getting out in the outdoors. Nothing beats sitting out by a fire with the beautiful galaxies and stars above you.
Absolutely. I just got back from the coast in Manzanita. It was the same thing. It was just the evenings, not being near the city lights, just all the stars. So nice. Got to take advantage of August while it's here and enjoy the summer.
I know. Yeah. I think it's important to recharge. I think for a lot of us, go, especially as an entrepreneur, sometimes recharging is the best thing to change your mindset and kind of create some different wirings in your mind, or think about things differently, and you can come up with some good ideas there. Did you come up with any ideas while you were out there, Manzanita?
It was some just time away. I find it really difficult to break free of just all the same thing, the entrepreneurial. There's always something else to work on, a project, a class, a call. And there's something about the coast, or when you're away from home, where I just am disciplined about turn the phone off and get outside and just enjoy. So it was the thought around making sure to bring forward some of the blessings of this time, which has been a lot less hectic schedule and more quality time with my children, and just, making sure that what's been good can move forward into the future and really take those times. So I've determined Sundays are no tech days, and we're going to get outside, rain or shine. So that was my takeaway.
That's awesome. Yeah, technology detox, I think, is a kind of a popular one right now. But I'm with you. I was talking with some friends not too long ago, and I think a lot of people have said that they've been able to create some more focus during this time, really realizing like what is important to you. How do you want to spend your time? So yeah, I guess there's sometimes I try to see the silver lining in a lot of things. And so, yeah, it's, but
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Brian, thank you so much for taking some time to spend with me today. It was fun to get to know you better. And I'm sure those who are listening will enjoy that. And I am very much encouraging everyone to go check out your tips and your video and connect with you, because you have a lot of amazing free content, and certainly encouraged to consider how to work with you as part of the team, and sharing their individual visions. So, and when you, for those of you that are listening, Brian will put his information in the comment section, so it's easy to get in touch with him. And I thank you so much.
Yeah, Chelyn, it's really been an awesome pleasure being on the show. And yeah, I just want to let folks know that, yeah, I have those free resources like you mentioned, but just go out there and start filming on your phone. A lot of people think you need to get all this like fancy gear and stuff, but start filming on your phone and start creating like a database of video footage. And yeah, there is a little bit of a mental hurdle to get over of seeing yourself, listening to yourself. That can be awkward, but no,
Yes.
everyone experiences that, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, and it's all practice. And know that things aren't static. You might film a video today, but in a year from now, 5 years from now, you'll make another video and another one. So it's all a work in progress all the time. So I really appreciate it, Chelyn. You've been a great host. Thank you for the awesome questions. And yeah, I guess the greater thing is please visit Coachmasters too if you get the chance.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and be part of a community of like-minded individuals that are trying to grow and improve themselves.
Exactly. And if any of you just comment below, we'll make sure you have the information and an invitation to join us on Mondays. So thanks again, Brian. Take care.
Thank you, Chelyn. I want to say a big thanks for tuning into the Media Marketing Podcast. Please subscribe to get notifications for new episodes, which are coming out every Thursday morning, or at least we're striving for that. Feel free to visit our Facebook page where you can like and join the media marketing community. This is a good resource for collaborating, sharing ideas with other media creators, marketers, and those just looking to build their network. So until next time.